Hey friend, Roger Christopherson here again with another first listen review. This one is one that I was really looking forward to. It's the new one from Jim Peterik, and it's under the name Jim Peterik World Stage, which he's been doing for a while now. In case anybody doesn't know who Jim Peterik is, he was the founding guitarist and main songwriter for the band Survivor. Is probably what he's best known for, but he's written a lot of songs and been involved in a lot of projects since then, and even before that wrote some stuff for 38 Special, and he's done a lot of stuff with his band Pride Alliance and a whole bunch of other stuff. He's been very, very busy. So anyway, this is his new project. It's called it's called Roots and Shoots Volume 1, and basically what the idea behind this is working with people that are been around for a while, legends, roots, and then shoots would be the new or up and coming artists who, quite honestly, on this album I'm not really familiar with any of these shoots, shall we say, but interesting album. When I first listened to it, I honestly didn't care for it at all, which I was really surprised. I was actually really bummed out how much I did not like this when I first heard it, and I was like, alright, I gotta sit down and give this a better listen. I just kind of put it on, had it playing as I was just kind of going around doing stuff, and so I sat down, put the headphones on, and gave it like a more thorough listen, and second time around was much better than the first. However, I still have some little nitpicky things about it, but overall there was some highlights. It's just weird how sometimes these bands, like in songwriters, it happens a lot. They write like these amazing songs from when we were younger, and they're just huge and they're super catchy and they just reach out and grab you, and then they somehow forget how to do that. And it's kind of strange because I believe he's got like a course and stuff on how to write songs and all that. And it's not that he doesn't know how to write songs, he doesn't have bad songs, but there's none of those ones, like I haven't heard anything in quite a long time that's just reached out and grabbed me, like Eye of the Tiger and High on You or Rockin' Into the Night or whatever. So, and even with Pride Alliance, it's more like the Survivor vein type music, although a little bit on the lighter side. Still none of that stuff. I just love it, it's good, but nothing really just reached out and grabbed me. And that same thing I ran into on this one, although there's a few highlights of this album. First one with Kevin Cronin. It's with Kevin Cronin and REO Speedwagon. It's the whole band. I don't know why they didn't just call it, with REO Speedwagon. But anyway, that's a cool song. Good way to start out. It's got, REO Speedwagon's playing on it, so it sounds a lot different than the rest of the album. But I noticed right off the bat, the production on this is a little weak in spots, and a lot of the vocal production on this album I didn't care for at all. I don't know. It sounds like I'm going to probably tear this one apart, and I don't like doing this, but I got to be honest. When I'm doing these things, I can't just praise everything like it's, awesome, even though it's stuff from people I love. I got to be honest about it. The song's cool. It's a fun song. It actually was really enjoyable, but you can hear the roughness. You can hear the age in Kevin and Jim when they're singing on this one, and the production didn't help at all. It's some more modern production. It's very thin. The guitar sounds very thin. The funny part is the keys sound great and the bass sounds great. The drums are kind of not the strongest they could be, but they cut through enough that it didn't bother me too much. And the whole album pretty much suffers from that same thing on all these songs. And I noticed that the vocal production is it's just weak performances on a lot of the stuff. From Don Barnes was good, Paul Childers was a little bit on the, it's like they didn't give it quite enough time. Even Kelly Keagy was the same way. Mark Farner sounded great, and actually a lot of the newer guys sounded really good. It was the older ones that sounded like they just didn't take the time to work on the production on the vocals, and same with Jim. Funniest part is the second song with Colin Peterik singing his son. That sounded really good. It's like they maybe took a little bit extra time on that one. Good song. There's a lot of mid-tempo stuff in here. There wasn't any all-out ballads, and there wasn't any super hard rockers, although the one with Kelly Keagy is probably the heaviest one. That was called Mend Fences. That was pretty good. And then the one with Don Barnes, Last Dream Home, was pretty cool. That had a 38-ish special-ish type sound to it, although a little bit more mainstream, not quite as southern rock as 38 Special is known for. And then Forever's the Last Place to Look with Paul Childers was a good song, a little bit more on the mellow side, but he had a very good singing voice. And The songs are all really well written. They are, but like I said, it's like he's got a formula that he follows. Then he doesn't really stray from that formula much anymore. It doesn't sound like there's taking any chances like maybe they used to back in the days. As I Am with Ashton Brooks, really good song. Oh, that one's really mellow. It's almost like that one's kind of I don't know, almost theatrical. Probably my least favorite one was that one. Friends Forever with Mark Farner on that one. Great performance, cool sounding song, but the lyrics on that one, I don't know. He does this. I've noticed that over the years that he doesn't. He's like he's trying to make the lyrics work instead of taking the time to actually come up with something more unique and cool. He just kind of like just makes it work, and I feel like that's kind of really distracts from the song. This one, the lyrics, just like, man, I don't know. I did not care for them at all. Suddenly was kind of cool song. It was Leslie Hunt. I'm not familiar with it all. Everybody from this point on, I don't even know. That was a good song. Although the production on the vocals was probably the worst, like produced on that one. I Found Me, Mark McRae was another good little song. Like I said, didn't really do anything to stand out and like really grab me. It's kind of a little on the weak side on those actually, and I'm thinking about it. But it ended with a cool little duet with two people I'm not familiar with at all. It's called Fire and Water. And of course, the Fire and Water title, I think they could have done something other than taking a title that was very well known from another band, but little nitpicky things there. Those are probably two of the best vocal performances, however, was on that last song. So I was like all over the place with this one, even after the second listen through, and the production on it was just not what I'm used to hearing from Jim, and I don't know what's going on. This one was a little weird for me, so I don't know. Overall, I would probably rate it like a 5 out of 10. There was so much wrong with it that it was hard to like make. With the stuff that was really good about it, just wasn't enough to like raise it up any higher for me. So that's where I'm at on it. I know I've read a couple other reviews on this before it came out just praising it, and I'm not hearing what they're praising. So like I said, I just try to be honest in these things. It's not like I love Jim Peterik. I think he's like a great artist and great songwriter. So it's kind of like killing me to actually say some of this stuff, but it is what it is, and that's just my personal feeling on it. I can't lie about what I'm hearing. So anyway, that's where I'm at on it. Feel free to share your thoughts as always, and like, share, subscribe, and help keep the music alive, as I always say, and we'll talk to the next one. See you.